Hello students, today we'll see the next topic in the chapter differential thermal analysis and differential scanning colorimetry. In the previous lecture we have seen that what are the different types of DSC, how we have to perform the calibration for the same, and lastly we have seen what are some applications in terms of some physical methods which are associated with the DSC. Today we'll see the next topic, that is the next applications, that is the polymorphism in food and pharmaceuticals, then liquid crystal transition, and last one is the phase diagrams. So let us see one by one. So generally polymorphism is of the particular importance in food and pharmaceutical preparations, since it affects the solubility, stability, physiological activity, and bioavailability of the compound. For example, if you consider the example of glyceraldehyde, what happens in that? So the glycerides are nothing but the esters of the glycerol, and long chain aliphatic or unsaturated acids, and they are present in fats, margarine, and chocolate, and are used in the many pharmaceutical preparations. So generally, the polymorphism of glyceride has been reviewed by Chapman, who notes the use of microscopy, dilatometry, dielectric, and X-ray diffraction studies in addition to thermal work and spectroscopy. Along with that, Aaron Mine, who concentrates on the applications of the DSC. So the generally what happens, the glyceride system show at least three phases, okay, and which are distinguished by using the some spectroscopic method and X-ray spacings which are present between them. So generally what happens, there are three different phases are there. If you consider the particular glyceride molecule, so it is exists in the three different forms. Okay, so most stable form it is called as the beta form, which is obviously high melting. Then lowest melting is found to be the least stable. Okay, so it is called as alpha form, and intermediate between alpha and beta, there is a beta dash form is exists. We can call it as a metastable form. Okay, so look at how that particular alpha, beta, and beta dash will work. So look at the example. So on first heating of a sample and rapidly cooled from the melt, we observe an initial melting of a form at around 54 degrees Celsius, almost immediately followed by the exotherm due to the transformation and the crystallization of the stable beta polymer. Then the beta form then melts at a 73 degrees Celsius. Okay, so look at what happened at the 54. There is a melting of the alpha form. Then we can say there at 73 there is a melting of the beta form, and if the liquid is then cooled to the temperature few degrees above the melting point of the polymer and held there until a crystallization occurs, then there is a formation of metastable polymer. That is, we can call it as a beta dash. Okay, so heating this form produces a similar trace for the partial melting of beta dash, and then transformation into the beta and melting of beta, as shown in the dotted line and dotted curve in the next figure. So DSC study have been made of polymorphic changes in the mixture of the confectionery fats and the thermal characterization of edible oils and fats. So, for example, we have see that some example, that is the glyceraldehyde. So, this is the particular DSC curve for the triasterine, or we can say the glyceride molecule, which is heated, or which is having taken 4.3 mg of the given sample and heated at 5 Kelvin per minute rate under nitrogen atmosphere. So in that what happens, this particular full line indicates that there is the first heating is done. Then after that, the dashed line will indicate reheating from around 57 degrees Celsius. There is a reheating is going to be takes place. Okay, so from that we can identify different kinds of polymorphs present in the glyceride. So the forms of another example, if you consider one of the antibiotic that is an norfloxacin is a derivative of 4-quinolone carboxylic acid, and it were studied by DSC and X-ray diffraction and spectroscopic technique, showing the need to use available analytical methods fully to characterize the material. So there are two different forms of this drug, that is form A and form B, which shows a wide spectrum of antimicrobial activity, which are obtained from the various sources. So the forms showed different X-ray patterns and gave the DSC traces in figure 2 when heated in the dry nitrogen at 10 Kelvin per minute flow of the nitrogen. Then the form A had a melting point of around 219.5 degrees Celsius with change in the enthalpy of 115 joule per gram. Whereas Form B also showed a broad transition at 195.6 degrees Celsius with delta H of 20 joule per gram, which varied with the heating rate. So look at, if you consider, if you see these two values corresponding to melting point and the enthalpy change, so there is a much difference if you consider these two values. Okay, so this value also vary with the heating rate. If you change the heating rate, these values are ultimately changes. Since this transition was not seen on rerunning the sample after cooling the system, it is called system is monotropic. So we have already discussed about monotropic and all that thing in the previous chapter. So this is the DSC curve for the two polymorphic form of the norfloxacin. So this is the particular curve for the form A, and this is the dashed curve. It is for the form B. Okay, and hence we can say that there is a vast difference between, much difference between the heat flow between these two polymorphs. Then next topic is liquid crystalline transition. So generally what happens, the liquid crystalline state is it of great importance if you consider some preparations of some display devices such as a liquid crystal display. Okay, so many types of the liquid crystal phases are formed from molecules often with polar end groups and with a rod-like structures. So the liquid crystals represents various degrees of order within the liquid. So from very ordered solid, we may progress to one of the various metic phases which have plate-like order, or to a nematic phases which has a rod-like order, or to the cholesteric phase which is a twisted nematic, and finally to the isotropic completely disordered. So considering the order changes in the transition, the greater the increase in the disorder, that is nothing but the entropy, or we can say that there is a vast number of order is going to be changed, and hence we can say that there is a greater amount of entropy is going to be changed. Okay, as we know that delta S, that is the change in the entropy, is equals to change in the heat content upon temperature, that is the delta H upon T. So this means that delta H will be large for the large change in the order. So look at the figure 3, which shows that the transformation of para-azoxyanisole. Okay, so in that the first transition is going to be takes place at 119 degrees Celsius and has large delta H because the material goes from ordered crystal to the disordered crystal. Okay, and hence nematic liquid crystal is going to be formed, and the second transition, or we can say the second transition, is very smaller at 135 degrees Celsius and goes to the true liquid phase. Okay, so this is the particular DSC curve for the para azoxyanisole, where we can get two different kinds of curves with a difference in the change in the enthalpy of the system. Then next one is the phase diagram. So what is meant by, first of all, phase diagram? Okay, so when more than one chemical component is present, the thermodynamics become even more complicated and the melting behavior is again more complex. Okay, so if you consider if only one compound is there, at that time we can say that we can predict the thermodynamics for the same compound and we can analyze some physical properties by the same manner. But if you consider the mixture of the compound, at that time it is very difficult to analyze the particular compound. So the traditional way of studying the phase behavior of mixture was by cooling the curves and plotting against the temperature or time temperature versus time as a mixture cooled from the melt. So this is the traditional way by which we have to draw the particular phase diagrams. So the DT or DSC can give more information more rapidly with the smaller samples provided sensible conditions are used. That is a fairly slow heating rates, preferably less than 10 Kelvin per minute. When a pure solid substance A does not dissolve at all in solid B, the freezing point of A is lowered by the presence of B and the freezing point of B is lowered by A, giving the diagram which is shown in the next slide, that is the figure 4. So the lowest temperature at which liquid can exist, the lowest temperature at which the liquid can exist, we can call it as a eutectic temperature, that is the TE. And below this, we have various mixture of the crystals A and crystals B are occur. So this is the particular eutectic phase diagram. It will indicate this is the particular eutectic temperature. Okay. So this is the particular solid A, solid B, and this is the particular eutectic phase diagram. We can say that at this point there is a eutectic point is to be occurred. Then, when A and B are very similar in structure, for example, both from cubic crystals, they may form a solid solutions. Okay, so this is the particular first case. If they are having the same crystal, that is the cubic crystals, at that time they will form a solid solution where a mixed crystals structure is obtained having crystal lattice parameter, it is intermediate between those A and B. Okay, and hence this gives the phase diagram which is shown in the figure 5 or the phase diagram for the figure 6. So the DT and DSC curve of any of the mixture in these systems generally shows a phase changes. So when the temperature is higher than the solid lines PQR, the mixture will start to melt and the endothermic peak will be obtained, whose size will depend upon the amount which melts at this temperature. So the nearer the mixture is to eutectic composition Q, the larger is the peak at T, that is the eutectic temperature. Then look at the mixture will continue to melt gradually until the liquidus line with QW is reached when the final fraction becomes liquid. So the temperature is given by the final peak of the trace. Eutectic system gives two peaks which is shown in the figure. Okay, so there are two different peaks that are obtained in this figure number 7. So the solid solutions give a single broad peak. It will give single broad peak as shown in the figure 8, and partially miscible system gives both sorts. Okay. Then, when the components react to form a compound, this gives more complex diagram which may still be studied by the thermal methods. So this technique has been used extensively to study metallurgical phase diagrams, mixtures of the liquid crystals and pharmaceuticals. Okay, so this is all about this is all about today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will see some applications regarding to the DSC. Okay, thank you.